sassy man, self-proclaimed high-value man, never been a gentleman. He's a sassy man, self-proclaimed high-value man, never been a gentleman. Sayo says, have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. I was just about to say how much my singing voice has improved, and then I hit a couple notes towards the end there that we're just not going to talk about. Hello and welcome back to another episode of Sayo Says. And if this is your first time here, hello, welcome. I am simply Sayo, and I am a professional yapper. Honestly, I think being a curious child, I was always a very curious child, and I was always very, I was a very confident child. Do you know what I mean? Obviously, confidence wavers throughout the years and over the years, etc. But there's been a pretty steadfast and steady baseline of I knew I was that girl. Do you know what I mean? Even when I had heat rash on my face in year 9. Even when I had heat rash on my face in year 9. In year 9, when we were still practicing shoplifting. Obviously, we've grown out of that. In year 9, I used to, this is so bad, but story time with Sayo. There was one time in secondary school where me and my friends, my group of hooligans, we used to just go to one of the supermarkets and we just open boxes of Lindt chocolate and just walk around the shop and eat them. I don't know if I'm confessing to a crime, but I don't know if the statute of limitations for criminal activity is applicable here. But I think I haven't done it since. And we also remember Dream at Moose Foundation. I took one of those as well. Oh gosh, I'm out of myself right now. But do you know what it is? It's crimes of youth. Do you know what I mean? Crimes of youth. We look at them retrospectively through a different lens. Do you know what I mean? Like, it was just something to do. It was peer pressure. Anyways, I had heat rash on my face in year 9, right? I still felt like I was that girl. I did not care. And mind you, it lasted for like a week. I had heat rash and it was nasty. It was very, very textured. And it stung as well. I was still playing football with the boys. I was still kicking ball with the boys. I was still playing with my girls. I was still hanging out, being normal, doing normal kid things. I was still out here and the reason why I mentioned Dream at Moose, was because the reason why I mentioned shoplifting. Sorry, do you know what? It's just crazy. Like, we used to just steal. This is bad. The reason why I mentioned Dream at Moose was because in year 9, that was when I went through my makeup revolution. That was when I was mad experimental with makeup. You know, back in the day when they went before the great shift, before the great shift, before all the brands were more inclusive and showing humanity with their range selections. You know, when every black girl was that one shade of I don't even know what the shade was, but Dream at Moose, the shade never matched. It was not my skin at all. But that was one of the items that I only once liberated from the supermarket when I was young. We used to do some dumb shit when we were young, innit? What are some of the dumb things you used to do when you were young? You don't have to obviously incriminate yourself. You can say, oh, a friend of mine, wink, wink, someone said, wink, wink. You know what I mean? But the reason why I mentioned Dream at Moose was because the shade that I had was not my shade. And so when I realized that during the time that I had this heat rash, I was presented with the option of, okay, do I firm it and go to school with this heat rash all over my face, bare face? Or do I try to cover it up with Dream at Mousse foundation that I liberated from the supermarkets? I did both. Yeah, I did both. I wore the foundation one day, and then I think someone made a comment that really shined my eyes with. Mind you, I already knew it did not match my skin tone. My gorgeous mocha chocolate, terracotta, cocoa bean, coffee skin tone. I knew it didn't match, but I thought at least it's something that will hide the heat rash. It only emphasized it. Sheds. It only emphasized it. Thank goodness I was not in front of Getty cameras during those days. Obviously man's profile has increased. You get me? Your girl's getting Gettys and stuff. We'll see if we can slap some of my Gettys on screen. You get me? Yeah, man. What, red carpet things? Minor, man. That's just another Tuesday. What are you talking about? What? Thank goodness Getty was not around back then, though. Sheds. It did not look good. The heat rash was just consuming my face. So when someone highlighted just how bad the Dream at Mousse foundation that I liberated looked on my heat rashed face, I said, you know what? Let me just go bareface. And I was just there rolling around, just enjoying my youth. I really feel for the kids of today. I feel for the kids of today. My goodness. My sister, yeah. Hi, Becky. I love you so much. Love you, Becky. Mapuja. In my household, puja is a term of endearment. Okay? My puja. Puja, what is this behavior? Puja, what is this behavior? Puja, what is this behavior? Do you know how iconic puja is? Puja for president. Puja for president. I'm telling you that now. You've got my vote, sister. You have got my vote. Do you know how much of a cultural icon Puja from Big Brother is? The amount of gems that she dropped in that interaction. Puja, what is this behavior? You pick it up. No, you pick it up. Or what? Like, get off my back. Anyways, my sister, my Pooja. Obviously, she's 16. She recently turned 16, right? And she always tells me just how much she despises the children in her school. She does not like them, especially the boys. You see, adolescents, yeah? Becky said that, yeah, that's basically what they're like, which is absolutely terrifying, especially when you contextualize the fact that children, like young, like teenagers, etc., are growing up in this world that is so much more unforgiving than the world we grew up in. I'm 28 years of age. I'm 28. So for me, secondary school was, I don't even know how many years ago, like, definitely over 10. Man, honestly, I don't, how many years, it doesn't matter. Someone can work out the math in the comment chat. But I went out, heat rash on my face, didn't care. No one really said anything. No, do you know what I mean? Like, people just, okay, cool. What's on your face? Heat rash. Oh, okay. Do you want to kick ball? Yeah. Boom, sorted. Now, my goodness. I don't even want to sound like an agony auntie. I don't want to sound like an agony auntie, but the pressures that young girls are facing, like, It's actually crazy, especially in the advent of like TikTok and the popularization and democratization of social media, and the fact that a lot of people now, sorry, are prosumers. You know, we are producers and consumers. It was a term that I learned during my my masters. It was really, really good. I loved that module. But especially now that people are prosumers, people are not just passively consuming content, people are producing the content as well. And so there's a lot more control that we have over the content that we see and that we consume and that we put out, etc., you know? But seeing young babes, seeing the teenage girlies and stuff, feeling this pressure to look more mature, I think is the better word. It's just, I just hope they're okay. Honestly, I hope their mental health is okay. I hope that they realize sooner rather than later that, and if you are, you know, if you're a teenager watching this, babes, please do not be in a rush to grow up. Don't be in a rush to grow up. Honestly, girl. Bitch, I got so many bills, bitch. I got so many bills. Those bills. Fines. HMRC are on my cock. HMRC are on my cock. Oh my goodness. Do not be in a rush to grow up. Don't be in a rush to look growner. Growner? Don't be in a rush to look more grown than what you are. Don't be in a rush to come across as being more mature, because there are sick people out there, mostly men, who will prey on that desire that you have to come across as more mature than what you are. And mind you, the maturity often comes as a result of some sort of trauma. Do not let them, do not be impressed, do not feel complimented by anyone telling you that, oh, you're mature for your age as a young teenage girl, do you know what I mean? Please do not be in a rush. But it's just crazy. And hearing the things that Becky is telling me about the behaviors of some of some of the other students in her school, especially the boys, it's really, really scary. It is so scary, and it's so important, especially now I'm talking to the older sisters and the older brothers, etc. It's so important to hold your siblings close and to get involved in their business. Oh my goodness. Get involved in their business. Be as active as you possibly can be in their lives, because you do not want a situation that wherein your sibling is going through something and they don't feel like they can come and talk to you about it. You do not want a situation wherein your sibling is experiencing something or is being radicalized, right? Especially again, linking back to adolescence and the themes explored in that Netflix show. You do not want a situation wherein your siblings are being radicalized by right-wing propaganda and fascist male-brained rubbish in the I think they call it the manosphere. The manosphere, right? I think it's the manosphere. You do not want a situation whereby your sibling is being indoctrinated into believing these dehumanizing things about young girls and women. You don't want a situation wherein your younger sibling is being indoctrinated with all of this, fascist and stay-at-home wife, stay-at-home girlfriend. Man is provider, woman is docile, passive and submissive. You do not want a situation wherein your sibling is being lured in and groomed into these ways of thinking. So hold them close. And I'm so fortunate that I have the kind of relationship with my little sister that allows me to be able to say, yeah, Becky wouldn't do this. Yeah, this is what Becky's capable of, or yeah, I know my sister. Do you know what I mean? Because me and my sister, we're like this. We are Batty and Bench. We are rice and stew. We are biscuits and tea. We are plantain and oil. That's my baby girl. Like, I made a tweet not too long ago, basically saying, like, sister, daughter, it doesn't matter. It's all the same thing to me. My sister is my daughter. I'm a mama sister. Mommy? Mama sister? No. Mama sister. I am a mama sister. Because not only is she my sister, that's my firstborn child. That's my firstborn. That's my baby. That's my pooja. That's my pooja. And so because I have such a good relationship with her, she feels so comfortable coming to me to talk to me about anything. You know, like, I'm so woven into her life that I feel comfortable knowing the kind of person that she is. I feel really reassured in the idea of my little in the idea that I have of my little sister. But I think it's just important to try to cultivate a good relationship with your siblings. You know, I have quite a lot of siblings. Every time someone asks me how many siblings do I have to be like, oh shit, here we go again. Whip out the fingers. There's okay. So okay. Literally, I have to bring out my fingers to count how many siblings I have. Honestly, I think I have like 6. Now that I've mentioned it, now I actually have to bring out my fingers and count. Yeah. So there are now 6 of us. I say there are now because I had 2 sisters pass away. One of which was literally like, I don't want to talk about it on this episode actually, because I'll get sad and then I'll cry, and that would be sad, because then you'll be sending your condolences and stuff and your sympathies, and okay, I'm sad now. Okay. I'm not gonna be sad. Anyway, so I have like 6 siblings now, but I think it's just so important to have a good relationship with your younger siblings, especially. But please, this is only if you're a sensible somebody. This is only if you're a sensible somebody. Please, if you yourself in your own heart of hearts know that you're not a sensible somebody, and that you're not going to be helping properly guide your younger siblings, please have discernment and know that this is not, particularly directed to you. I know that I give good guidance pertaining to my little sister and my younger brother, because like being an older sister is literally so much of my identity. It's one of the most important parts of my identity. I am literally, you know how like women are like, my man, my man, my man. My sister, my sister, my sister. My sister, my sister, my sister, my sister. My sister, my sister, my sister, my sister, my sister, my sister. That's me. I'm very much, oh yeah, my sister, my sister. My sister, my sister. There's not a single day that goes by where I'm not fawning over my sister and how much I love her. I absolutely adore that girl. Like, she is so precious to me. And she's just so funny and perfect. I love her so much. Becky, I love you. Mwah. Anyways, so like that's that. Anyways, so right now I'm a bit all over the place. I'm going to be so honest, like just a moment of transparency. I feel so all over the place because there is a crusade in my cervix. I don't know how else to say it other than that's a very poetic way of saying I'm on my cycle. Like, oh yeah, there's a crusade in my cervix. There's a crusade in my cervix, and it's not funny at all. Literally, I made a post online yesterday. Basically, this episode is definitely for the girlies. Honestly, it's very much for the girlies. But there was a post that I made, right? Basically, Where is it? Yes, here it is. So there was a post that I made basically saying, my sweet sisters, can we please hold space to discuss period poos? Poop. Can we please hold space to discuss period poop? Like, why can't the period just be the bleak? Why can't the period, why can't the period just be the bleeding alone? Why must there be 100 other symptoms? And then I said that I understand the biology of what causes period poops, but I just can't accept the pooping itself. It's so much. Like, why must I flirt with a hernia every month? Why must my body threaten me with a hernia every month? Not even a hernia and a prolapsed bowel. Honestly, it's actually crazy. I am very open about these things. I'm not gonna lie. And my friends always joke and they say, whenever Shai on her period, everybody in the world will know. Yes. I just inherently don't see this as it's not private. Most women go through it. If you have a uterus, you will go through it. There are so many people with uteruses that go through this. It's not private. So why am I acting like, why it's not a secret? Like, it's only because of this stupid shame culture and because of the patriarchy that conversations such as, something as regular and cyclical, mind you, as a cycle and the symptoms thereafter are seen as, we don't need to talk about that. Well, we're going to talk about it. Because when I made that tweet, 24 hours ago, obviously, whenever this episode comes out, whatever, it's already gotten almost 20,000 likes and over 300 or so comments with almost over 2,000 quote tweets of people describing the symptoms, all of the different symptoms that they have during their own cycles. Some of the symptoms I'm hearing, some of the symptoms that I'm reading, somebody said period toothache, as in I beg your pardon. Mind you, when I was on the train today, making my way to the studio, the way my left leg went numb, and then, I had this shooting pain. Mind you, I get shooting pains in my leg every time when I'm on my cycle as well. Like, it's crazy. And so the reason why I love talking about these things and love broadcasting it is because I just see it as another opportunity for conversation. I just see it as another opportunity to learn more about the varying symptoms that, people experience when they're having their cycles. Because it was through me talking openly about the fact that I have a tumor on my pituitary gland. Fortunately, it's non-cancerous, so it's an adenoma. It was in me talking about that openly that women realized that, maybe this is what I have as well, because I had so many women coming to me and DMing me and saying, when you got diagnosed for it, was it this? Did you have this? I think I may have this as well. I've been wondering what this is happening, blah, blah, blah. And I said my symptoms and all these things, and it helped so many women. And that's what I care about. I care about helping women. And that's honestly something that I'm really passionate about, and I grow in passion more and more because of the kind of conversations that I'm seeing my peers, etc., have, because of the kind of audacity and the space that feminists and digital activists, etc., are taking up. Like, do not let anybody shame you about things that are happening to you, about things that you are experiencing, no matter how taboo it's supposed to be, no matter how secretive it's supposed to be, no matter what label or branding of class or classy or demure, whatever it is. No, like, there is just so much information that is shrouded behind respectability. And I just don't see the need for it. I learned so much about the varying symptoms that so many other women and people who have cycles experience when they're on theirs. And I'm getting remedies as well. I'm getting suggestions and things like that are just very important. But that's all just to say that there is a crusade in my cervix right now. That's just to say that. And that the fact that I'm trying, like, having to do, oh gosh. Oh, Chim. Oh, I've got a splitting headache, man. Oh, I've got a splitting headache, man. Every month, man. Every month. And we just work through it. Mind you, it's day 1 right now, man. Like, my leg is like, I literally have like pins and needle, like a pins and needle kind of sensation in my leg. It's hard. It's so hard. But you know what? We're here, baby. We out here, we thriving. We're out here, you know? But yeah, no, this week has been a lot. There've been so many things that I've been working on, so many things that I've been doing, and that is just taking so much of my attention and my energy. But I love it. I think being a creative can be so overwhelming, especially full time. I'm a full time, creator. I'm a full time creative. I'm a full time artist, because I am not an artist. I am what art is, and I believe that so much so that I have it tattooed on my rib, baby. Yeah, my words. Yeah, baby. And so it can be very, very tiring, especially when you feel like you're being pulled in so many different directions creatively, in the sense that there are so many things that I want to do, and there are so many things that I am doing, which you're going to hear about over the next few weeks, etc., and year for one of them as well. It's a really, really big thing. But one of the things that I am doing that I actually want to talk to you about, my sweet, sweet succulent. That's you, you're succulent, because I'm a succulent. One of the things that I want to talk about is that, actually 2 things. One, I have a new single. Yeah, because remember when I said that I'm a spoken word artist? Yeah. I'm a spoken word artist. So sometimes I have projects out. Sometimes I have singles out. But I have a new single out called Sassy Man. Sorry. Okay. I have a new single out called Sassy Man. And it is so much fun. It's so much fun. So much fun. I'll see if we can slide in a sexy little snippet somewhere, but it's so much fun. So I've got a new single out, right, called Sassy Man. And with me, when I put out my poetry, remember the last episode with Auntie, yeah? Poetry, yeah? Poetry. When I put out a new single, a new piece or whatever, because obviously, like, I'm a satirist. I'm hilarious. I'm a satirist. I'm a comedian. I'm a comedian. Yo, I'm a comedian. And so my singles, my pieces are satirical in nature, but that doesn't mean that they ain't good. This is a highly produced, really, shout out to my producer, Jay. Shout out to you, Jay. So not only do I have a single out, but I also have, drum roll. See, thick thighs really save lives. Thick thighs save lives. Thick thighs are great for drum rolls. Anyways, drum roll, please. I have a live show. Yay! It's a live show. It's a live show. I have a live show. I'm so excited. I'm saying it like 5 times. I have a live show. The last time before we even talk about the last time I did my live show.
If you have
a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemmas via the email or in the DMs. If you have a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemmas via the emails or in the DMs. If you have a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemmas via the email or in the DMs. If you have a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemmas via the email or in the DMs. If you have a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemmas via the emails or in the DMs. If you have a problem, anti-problem, I will try my best to solve them. Send in your dilemma via the email or in the DMs. Hello, I am Auntie Sade. And this is my little segments on Sayo's show. She's very kindly giving me some space to play around and give you some advice as a elder on your dilemma and your story. So thank you, Sayo, you strange, beautiful, sexy young woman. So let's get straight into what is wrong with all of you people. Am I the asshole for telling my best friend I understood why his fiancé is so disappointed that he proposed to her at the gym? Hey, Alola Bisau. Hey, in the gym? Gymnasium. Okay. Was it one of those? Was it like a George? What was it? George Lloyd, David Lloyd. Well, is it a David Lloyd or is it a the gym? No shade to the gym, but there's levels to this thing. Was it in David Lloyd that he proposed to her, or was he the gym? Okay, let's read your problem. Let's read the dilemma. I, 27-year-old woman, was excited when my best friend, 27-year-old man, told me he had proposed to his girlfriend, 29-year-old woman. He said he had the proposal on video. I was so confused when the video started out in a woman's gym. When I saw his girlfriend on an exercise machine in the video, I had a bad feeling. She looked so shocked and she said yes. She only looked happy for about maybe 2 minutes, and the rest of the time she gave an insincere smile. I wonder why. Rubbish. My best friend expressed frustration that his fiancée had confessed she wasn't happy with the proposal after he asked her why she looked so sad. He was venting to me, bastard. Why are you the one? Why are you venting? You're proposing to the apparent love of your life in a gymnasium? Gymnasium? Okay. He was venting to me and asked me how I would feel if a guy proposed to me while I was at the gym. I guess he really expected me to agree with him, but I said I would hate it. Duh. But I said I would hate it. I said I don't want to be proposed to when I'm sweaty and stinky at the gym. I basically explained to him that I understood why she was disappointed. My best friend called me shallow and a bad friend. Am I the asshole? Not only should his fiancée be disappointed, she should be disgusted. Yes. She should be disgusted. What do you mean? In the gymnasium, when she's sweating, looking like she's just finished doing 75 hard. You now want to go and make it 76 hard and add another problem onto her head by proposing to her when she's gymming, when she's sweating, when the show deodorant has finished its antiperspirant power and she's sweating profusely, sweating. That's when you want to say, marry me. Your head is not correct. That's very stupid. And then for him to call you, what did he call you again? He called you shallow. How can he know what shallow is when his own level of depth is surface level? That's very stupid. Yes, that's very, very stupid of him. Very stupid of him. You are not the asshole, my sister. It's not you that's the a-hole. It's him. In fact, it doesn't. When it comes to the wedding, if it even gets that far, I implore you to object, my sister. Object. Object on grounds of stupidity. Anyone with even a morsel of common sense and decency and consideration, because it's inconsiderate. It's inconsiderate and lazy. It is lazy for him to propose to her at the gym when there's no preparation, when there's no thoughtfulness. That is a example of what sister girl should be expecting in that marriage, that shambolic marriage, to that stupid man. That's what she should. He's basically he's testing her to see just how little she will accept. And this is not a thing about being shallow or being materialistic or being whatever. If he wanted to propose to her on a walk in front of her favorite park where there are swans, public property of the queen or king or whoever is whatever anymore. That's more with some weeping willows, somewhere scenic. That one is inexpensive as well, but it's still considerate because you've thought about what she like. Nobody can like the gym so much that they will now come and be happy for gym proposal. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. Don't be stupid. He's intentionally trying to give her less so that he can gauge just how little she will be happy with. I wish she didn't even accept the proposal. I wish she would have just said, ugh, and ran away. Embarrass him the same way he's trying to embarrass her. Do not consider these inconsiderate males' feelings. Do not. What do you mean? The least he could have done was at least, I'm going to be pissed, man. I'm going to be pissed. In the gym. After she's when she's finished looking like she's doing 75 hard, she shouldn't just be disappointed. She should be disgusted. And she should be outraged, to be honest with you. To be honest with you, it's inconsiderate. You're not the arsehole. He is. You're proposing to the love of your life. And she looks like she's just gone through the valleys of the shadows of death. Sweating profusely. Don't be a silly bugger. Don't be a silly bugger. Don't be a silly bugger. I know. Don't be a silly bugger. Don't be stupid. Don't accept below anything that you want. And I bet you there would have been conversation maybe of what she wanted. Or she would have been alluding to what she wanted. But that stupid man, he didn't want to pay attention because he didn't even paying attention was too expensive for him. Poverty. Impoverished thinking. That impoverished proposal. Rubbish. Inconsiderate. So my sister, you're not the asshole. Go and tell that your friend that unfortunately her fiancé now is claiming that you are shallow and selfish or self-centered, whatever the heck, because you as well are not in agreement that a gym proposal is okay. Let her know that he thinks that you're being shallow, so that she too can start realizing just how mad that man is. Men are mad. Men like him are mad. Don't let them drive you into madness as well. Mental health matters. Hashtag be kind. Unless it's that stupid man. Don't be kind to that stupid man. You should even break up with him. Break up with him. Leave him. Break up with him. I'm always going to... I'm so quick to tell people to leave. I'm so quick to tell people to leave because this is just the beginning. It's the beginning of bad things happening in that relationship. I'll tell you that now. He will, you know what? That person, someone like that, weaponized incompetence. Have you heard of that terminology, language before? Weaponized incompetence. That's what he's going to be doing. I can already tell he's a useless somebody. Okay, you're not the asshole, and please tell sister girl to leave him. Rubbish. And it's something that I've been wanting to do for ages, right? So it's called Sayo's Supper Club. Yay! Sayo's Supper Club is going to be held at Shakara, London, in central London. Very, very intimate, very limited tickets, okay? So you better snatch them up. You better grab them. Right? It's at Shakara. And last year, I did my first ever live show. We'll see if we can, put some clips in or whatever. It's the soft life. Soft life. More than just a lifestyle. I did my first ever live show. And as a performance poet, I feel so at home on stage. I feel so at home on the stage. I'm so comfortable in front of an audience. I'm so comfortable just being myself in front of anyone, no matter who, honestly, no matter who, right? I feel so at home on the stage and when I'm performing. And so last year's sold out show, of course, it literally was like a dream come true because I've been wanting to do it for ages. I've been wanting to do it for so long. And the reception that I got from my community, from you guys, it was just so amazing. And again, going back to being a creative, because you have so many things that you want to do and so many different ways in which you want to display your creativity, it can get overwhelming because you want to do so much. You want to do all of it now. Sometimes the money ain't there, okay? Sometimes the money is not there. Sometimes the time just is not on your side. But if you are an artist, creator, etc., listening to this, pace yourself. Because even with this show, Sayo Says, have you heard what Sayo says? Even with Sayo Says, best believe I've been wanting to do this for 4 years. And we're only just now doing it. But in those 4 years, there have been so many other things that I've been doing creatively. There have been so many other things that I've been doing professionally, etc., that are just as important in my creative identity as an artist as this is. And so obviously I talk about being a spoken word artist and being a poet more specifically. And I haven't put out any new poetry in a while. And it's because it's for different reasons, to be honest with you. And I think one of them is just that when you do something that you love, and it starts to become something that gets measured through in a quantitative way as opposed to qualitative, in the sense that it started to feel like a chore, and I didn't want that, so I took a break. I didn't want my art form to start feeling like, oh gosh, I have to do this. Oh gosh, I just did not like that. And because of the nature of being an artist in the creative industry, in this industry, etc., is that when you do something that you love and you try to monetize it and you begin to monetize it, etc., it starts feeling like a job. It starts feeling like something that is now not just your own. And I started doing my poetry for myself. It was therapeutic for me. I started doing it during lockdown, and it was my way of, because during lockdown, that was, I took a bit of a creative hiatus from spoken word poetry and performance poetry in 2018, just after I graduated undergrad. And then I decided in maybe like 2019 or so, that I wanted to get back into it. And then, pandemic, COVID, nobody was allowed out. Everybody was, eating in to eat out, or eating out to help out, wherever it is. So that is also such a crazy name for an initiative, because the government know we're childish. The government know we're childish. What do you mean eat out to help out? We're kids. We're childish. We're going to pervert it. We're going to turn it into, eat out. Like, there were hella jokes running about that. Anyways, it started to feel like a task, right? And so when I decided that I wanted to get back into performance poetry, that's when, pandemic hit and everyone was inside. And so I just thought, okay, cool, I'll just put it online. I had already started posting my work online anyways, but specifically poetry was born out of lockdown, And so I remember when I put out the first piece, When Will I A Again? When will I A again? See, I long for the day when the aim of the day is to A again in the clubs. Yeah. So when I put that piece out, it went stupid viral. And then when I realized that, people really like this, I was like, something that I wrote in 10 seconds, you like. Obviously, mind you, this was people's first introductions to me, mind you, right? So then I thought, then let me show you what I can do. Let me show you what I'm capable of. Let me show you what I'm really and truly capable of. I want you to be able to see my eyes because they are gorgeous. I wanted to show people what I could do. I was like, if you like this, then you're gonna love this. And so I started doubling down on my poetry, and it was really, really fun. Like, I loved it. And then I had a few spells with, mental health problems, etc. I began disassociating and was diagnosed with anxiety, which is so weird to me because I'm not an anxious person. But it was in the context of during that time where it was a global pandemic. I was doing my master's. In lockdown, I was doing my master's. I was working full time and starting my career in online content, right? And so it was just so overwhelming, and my body was so stressed that I quite literally had I just started disassociating. I experienced disassociation and depersonalization, which are symptoms of anxiety. But it wasn't, I think I struggled to accept it when I was diagnosed, because in my head, when I think of anxiety, I more so have social anxiety in mind, right? But obviously it wasn't social anxiety that I had at the point. But I remember I went to A&E. And the doctor did the tests on me, etc. I was there for ages. The doctor told me to go into this room, do some breathing exercises, calm down, slow down so that my heart rate would stop. My heart rate was not stopping. Like, I was having all these different symptoms in and then the doctor was like, yeah, you're showing symptoms of anxiety, showing symptoms of having anxiety. And so for me, I think I started to distance it a little bit, and I kind of compartmentalized it a bit by saying, okay, I'm anxious. Like, I mean, I'm experiencing, and I have anxious feelings maybe, but anxiety is a condition. I was like, no, that just doesn't feel like me. But I think that was just my dissonance and my struggle to come to terms with it. Because I'm not an anxious person, but again, like I said, I had more so social anxiety in mind. I'm not a socially anxious person, but it is something. Obviously, anxiety is a feeling that everyone has. But when I was, I struggled to accept the diagnosis for sure. But all of the symptoms were there. I had, and then I was then diagnosed with chronic fatigue syndrome, which my doctor then also said was as a result, a knock-on effect of my anxiety and everything I was going through, etc. Like, it was a hard time for me. I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, it was a really, really hard time for me. But that was a difficult time, but that was when poetry started taking off. And then it just started, over the years, it just started feeling like, okay, like I wasn't having as much fun with it as I was before. And so I wanted to just kind of like take a break from that and get to a place where I was starting to feel more so like myself again, and like ready to get back into it, And so similar with Sayo Says, I've been wanting to do this for years, and it's only now that everything has fallen into place. And I just cannot wait for us to go on this journey to develop this show to being what it is I have in mind for it to be. The vision is so clear, babes. The vision for Sayo Says is so clear. And like I said earlier, it's going to be such a journey. So make sure you stick around. Make sure you're subscribed, of course. Make sure you're subscribed. Make sure you're liking. Make sure you're sharing, etc. This show is going to just grow and grow and evolve and change, all in the best of ways. And I just cannot wait until it is exactly where it is I want it to be. Because one of the reasons why I didn't start it earlier was because I wanted to put out a finished product. I wanted to put out the final product, the thing closest to the vision that I had for it, that I allowed that to stop me and to delay me from even starting. Like, I just did not start. I just let how married I was to the end vision, to the ultimate goal that I had for the show. I was so married to that I could not divorce myself from it. I could not separate my desire for it from the fact that, like, it was just very, very unrealistic to think that I'd be able to put out the final version. And so that's when my management, I love my manager so much. My agency, my management agency, they are amazing. Like, they're just so, so, so supportive. So when they told me, just come, start recording. And even if you don't use it, at least you learn, So I came in and we started recording. And guys, I don't have notes when I do this. I don't have notes when I film episodes. And for me, I tried at first to, do the whole notes thing and prepare, but I'm very much spontaneous, off the cuff, gift for the gab kind of gal. Like, I have so many thoughts and somehow they all manage to link. Even if it's a bit long-winded, it's still there. Like, when I tried to record episodes following my notes, it just distracted me, and it just felt so rigid and so, I don't know, just yuck, like, it just didn't feel like me. And so I just started recording episodes, and our episode, like literally from the first episode, if you haven't seen the first episode of Sayo Says, make sure that you go back to watch the first episode, because we've come such a long way. The first episode was fab. I love that first episode. Still one of the best performing episodes of Sayo Says thus far. Obviously, it's the first one, so, something new. It's new and shiny, but still, like, that's not even to take credit away from just how good the first show was, because it just felt very natural to me, And so that's my measurement of good. It just felt very natural and very authentically me. And that's always going to be what I'm going to give you. Do you know what I mean? Like, that's always just going to be me. And so when we first started, it was like, oh, wow, I realized that I was so married to this idea of the vision and to putting out a finished product that I forgot the beauty in just starting. I forgot the beauty in the process. And so it's just been an amazing journey so far to be in front of you today, to be creating my own show and to be building it up to being what it is I want it to be. And it's just such an honor. Like, I think being a solo creator, because I do a lot of things by myself. Like, I've always been very like, I'm not gonna wait for anyone. I'm just gonna do it, Like, because I create content by myself, it doesn't even get lonely. I'm not gonna, like, it's not lonely for me because I have like 12 personalities in here. Like, there's like 12 people in here, right? So I'm always entertained. I'm always like, I'm always in good company by myself, basically. I am always in good company by myself, right? So being able to just like say that I want to do this and then do it, say that I want to do that and then do that, and then try this and try that. And so when it comes to, creating and putting out art, etc., especially in the digital space, sometimes it's just the ebbs and flows of life. It's not everything that you're going to be able to do. It's not, the final product that you're going to be able, like, you can't start with the final product, basically. And that was what I have learnt and truly internalized and truly been able to get another layer of understanding of from starting this without having the logo sorted, without having the title sequence, because there's still so many ideas that I want to do for this show that I have not yet done. But it's like, you know what? It's okay. When it gets done, it gets done. I'm still going to keep going. I'm still going to do what it is I need to do. And I just hope that you're enjoying it so far, because I'm really enjoying building this community on here. We've been growing so quickly, and I just can't wait for us to grow even more, because honestly, like, I'm so big on community, guys. I'm so big on community. Community means so much to me, and it's not something that I ever take for granted, and it can get overwhelming, especially because I'm trying to do so many projects. I'm trying to manage so many things, but it's just nice to be able to connect with my community, because I've been wanting to put out long form content for ages, and so finally being able to do it just feels so good and so rewarding. Honest, I'll be so real. Like, I absolutely, I love you guys. I can't wait for us to have Sayo Says live. Like, that would be amazing. Oh, also, I just want to show you my shoes, because you're not going to be able to see it. I just want to show you my shoes. Very random, but I just want to show the full fit. Gorgeous. I absolutely love this. Absolutely love this. Anyways, like, I'm just so excited to, mind you though, people who are going to be listening to this on audio on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure that you are following Sayo Says on Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Make sure that you give us 5 stars and make sure that you leave a review. Please, only leave us honest and true reviews so that we can get better. Thank you so much. There are people who are going to be listening to this on audio and they're not going to have a single clue what I am referring to, because you don't have the visuals. But I basically just held up my very bioluminescent, fluorescent pink clogs, because the fit I'm wearing today, very vibrant. I love it. So yeah, like it's just amazing, like growing this community and just getting things started, and it can be difficult trying to manage everything and get a balance, but in life, that's just what happens. Again, it's just the ebbs and flows of life. There are going to be things that you're going to want to do that you're not going to have the capacity to do. No, we don't have the capacity. We don't have the capacity. You just don't have the capacity. I think in memes, by the way, just in case you haven't already clocked on, I think in memes, I have a archive of memes in my head that honestly unrivaled. Unrivaled. And it's something that I always incorporate in my content as well, especially in my poetry. I love meme culture. Remember when Auntie was on, she was talking about the importance of culture. When Auntie Sade was on, it was about the importance of culture. Another one of the cultures that I hold very close to my heart, aside from Yoruba culture, which is obviously as a Yoruba Nigerian woman, obviously, and Jamaican culture, because as a Nigerian woman, of course I love Jamaica. Come on. And my best friend is Jamaican, and like I love Jamaica. And Jamaica has had a massive, massive influence on linguistics, on so many different parts of culture, on sport, on academia, on science. Shout out Jamaica, man. A small island, but mighty, mighty people. Love that. But the third pillar in my cultural foundation for my content is memes. Meme culture. Meme culture. Meme as a word was coined by Richard Dawkins, right? So that was another thing that I focused on during my master's. I feel like I've referenced this master's that I did a little bit. So just in case anyone is interested in my academic journey, let me know if you want me to do a different video on that. But I did my master's in global media and communications at Warwick University during lockdown, when I was having anxiety breakdown and mental health problems. When I was going crazy. When I was going crazy. Meme culture is another part of culture that is very, very important to me. It's just such an amazing way to communicate. Granted, it is a surface level way of communication in one respect, because obviously there's only so much that a picture and a few words can really, contextualize, right? But meme culture is such a massive part of my content. Like, I think in memes, babes. Like, I be thinking in memes, child. Now, a few of you have already been flogging me in the comments about our book club. Now, I'm so sorry. Sorry. Right. But I'm going to try to be more consistent with the book. Okay. So I have now decided that in the show, we will now have a segment called Booked and Busy. I think that's so cool, right? Booked and Busy, which will basically be our mini 15-minute or so, or however many minutes book club segment, right, where we will go through the book that we are reading. So in a few episodes earlier, I introduced you to The Sex Lives of African Women. Woo! So The Sex Lives of African Women, written by Nana Darkow Sekiyama. If you don't have a copy, that's okay. You can get a physical copy, or you can, just read it online. And so this week we are going to read from Helen's story. So Helen Banda from The Sex Lives of African Women. And I really love this book. Honestly, I love this book so much because it's just so important to normalize conversations about sexuality and, sexual desires, especially as it pertains to women. I think it's so important to normalize that, because especially in this current climate where women's autonomy, women's sovereignty, women's rights, etc., is being taken away bit by bit, systemically, especially with, in America. And so that is why I think it's really important. That's why I really want to highlight this book, and I would really recommend that you get it. So we are going to read from Helen Banda's story. So Helen Banda is a 39-year-old cisgendered woman. She identifies as pansexual, polyamorous, and kinky. Oh, kinky, not a girl. She originates from Zambia and lives in the United States of America. We were just talking about America, you see? Okay, let's be reading. So, one day, one of the mums in the neighborhood play group said to me, "My husband and I are swingers and we're looking for people to explore with. Ooh. Do you know anyone in the lifestyle?" I looked directly in her eyes and consciously arranged my face to appear calm and non-judgmental. All right, Helen. My husband and I had talked about opening up our marriage several times, but I didn't know any people that were swingers. No, I don't know any people that do that, I said. She went on to tell me about Swingers Club that couples could go to and swap partners. We ended up chatting for hours. I got home so late that my husband was already in bed. I woke him up and said, "I need to tell you about this conversation that I just had. I have always known that I was attracted to women as well as men." You and me both, sister. My husband had said to me, "If you're out and you meet a woman you fancy, go ahead and explore. Just tell me about it." I had also given him that same pass, but in 10 years of marriage, neither of us have taken that option. On the contrary, I had lost myself to motherhood and focused my energy on our 3 children, especially our lastborn, who has special needs. My husband and I decided to open up our marriage. We joined a swingers club site online and started visiting some clubs, and we met a few people that way. Now, I'm going to stop there. That is just me reading the first page, right? Already so much to unpack. I think it's so fabulous that this book exists and that women are speaking openly about their sexual desires. They're speaking openly about their sexual activity as well, because it's not something that should be shamed, especially when it's done with people who are not being left in the dark about things and people who are consenting and are also willing. I think it is so interesting that her husband was also on, it's not really that, to be honest with you, I'm not even surprised. But I think it is so cool that she and her husband are on the same page regarding this. And I think even just her profile, the fact that she is a 39-year-old cisgendered woman, identifies as pansexual, polyamorous, and kinky, and she is from Zambia. You don't really hear those kind of stories from Zambian women. You don't really hear those kind of conversations and that kind of openness from women from more African backgrounds. And so that's why I love this book. Would you open up your relationship? Please be respectful, okay? Be respectful. This is not a place for any kind of intolerance or any kind of just stupidity, okay? But how do you, if you are into open relationships and open lifestyles and swingers and stuff like that and swinging, etc., if you're comfortable sharing that experience, it'd be really interesting to read that in the comments. So share those experiences if you're comfortable doing that. But I think I'm somewhat on similar kind of pages to Helen, our sweet, sweet sister Helen, in the sense that I think exploring your sexuality and exploring your desires is, I just feel like you kind of owe it to yourself, no? I just feel like you kind of owe it to yourself. I feel like if you want to explore sex and the things that excite you and the things that entice you, etc., and the things that that you are curious about, and the other person is consenting, go ahead. I think it's so beautiful to read an entry from a Zambian woman who identifies as pansexual and is polyamorous and kinky. I think especially with African women's sexuality, as mentioned in, I believe it was episode 3 I think it was episode 3, where we were talking about sex, right? Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about you and me. It was in one of the episodes one of the earlier episodes that we were talking about sex, and you guys really loved that. So if you want me to talk more about, sex, there's so many. Child, Shayo's got some stories, okay? Damn. Anyways, I just think it's really refreshing to read accounts from women, from African women and their sex lives in a way that it still kind of preserves their anonymity, but also in a way that like they feel comfortable doing so. And I think I really appreciate Nana. I really appreciate the writer of this book, who obviously these are a collection of stories and accounts from African women about their sex lives. And it's just so informative because sex is still such a taboo to talk about as Black women, as African women, etc. Obviously, this is a general statement. Of course, not everyone is like that, but from a societal standpoint, it's still something that people are very like hush shame about. And so this is really refreshing. Make sure that you finish reading Helen Bander's story, okay? I don't want to take up too much time because else we'll be here for a while. And the more we talk about and hear from women about their sexualities and their sexual desires, etc., the more we are then encouraged to start looking at our own as well and trying to understand, like how much of what I think I know about myself sexually and romantically is informed by shame culture, by purity culture, by heteronormative societal norms. How much of it is informed by misogyny? How much of it is informed by homophobia? How much of it is informed by transphobia? How much of it is informed by all of this, right? And so it just makes you hopefully even more open-minded to exploring yourself and understanding yourself. And honestly, that is just what the main message of this book is for me. So make sure you grab your copy. This is what we will be reading from for a while. And then we've got another book. Let me know if there are any book recommendations as well that you have. And we'll get onto those too. But The Sex Lives of African Women. Let me know if you already have this book, or and if so, are you enjoying it? Are there any of the stories in particular that stand out to you? Let me know. Maybe it will be one that we can cover in the next episode of this, right? And that is it for this week's episode of Booked and Busy. Yeah. Thank you so much for joining me on another episode of Sayo Says. Remember, my new single, Sassy Man, is out. Make sure that you stream that on all streaming platforms. Create content with it. Tag me on socials. You know the vibes. You know the vibes. He's a sassy man, self-proclaimed high-value man. I love that song so bad. Mind you, it's not even a song. It's literally... Anyway, Sha. Make sure that you stream Sassy Man, available now on all streaming platforms. And make sure that you grab your tickets for Shayo's Supper Club. I want this to be a reoccurring event, okay? So every couple of months or so, that's what I'm thinking. So make sure that you grab your tickets for Shayo's Supper Club. Make sure that you tag me and you let me know once you've gotten your tickets, because it is very limited availability. It's just a nice, small, little intimate thing, okay? So thank you so much for joining me in another episode of Sayo Says. Have you heard what Sayo says? Whether she's sitting down by herself or with her friends, that's what Sayo says. Let's give it up. Yeah.